Okay, so I'm creating this video for Sir Hepe or Pepe di Hepe. Apparently, he's having some issues with his camera, with flickering lights and all that. So hang on. Let me just try to explain this to you in a way na mas naintindihan ko siya as a non-professional. I'm not really a good photographer and I'm not a professional. So I'm not really an expert when it comes to the technicalities of photography and videography. But I do my research as well. So related dun sa problem ni Sir Pepe, which is itong LED clock ko na to. Hold on. Hindi nyo masyado makita kasi maliwanag sa labas. By the way, I'm shooting on my Sony ZV-1 right now, and I have here a Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra and my Insta360 X3. Alright, so that's way better. Now, what you can actually see here is itong LED clock na to na nagpa-flash when in reality, it's not flashing. Okay, so you can also see here around the room na walang ibang ilaw na nagka-flash bukod sa kanya at saka yung nasa ilalim ng lamesa ko na LED. Okay, so this is my Insta360 X3 and as you can see here, similar dito sa ZV-1 ko, nagpa-flash din yung LED clock. Wait, let me reframe lang. Okay, ayan. So nakikita nyo naman, nagpa-flash din yung LED clock. But in reality, hindi talaga siya nagpa-flash. So let me just switch off the lights para mas makita nyo siya ng maayos. So as you can see here, mas lumala yung flickering. Lahat nag-flicker na. So how can I actually fix this? Well, to be very honest, when I'm shooting indoors, ang turo sa akin ng kaibigan kong professional, Mr. Justin Espejo, is you don't shoot on automatic. You should be shooting on full manual. Shooting on full manual actually gives you more flexibility kasi syempre, iba-ibang location, iba-ibang ilaw would actually need different settings as well. So ano nga ba yung settings ng Insta360 ko as of the moment? Now you can see here that I'm shooting at 5.7K, 30 frames. So yun yung frame rate ha. Resolution is 5.7K, frame rate is 30 frames per second. Since napag-usapan na natin yung resolution and frame rate, ngayon pag-usapan naman natin yung shutter speed and ano yung kahalagahan niya sa mga videos natin. So, lagi nating tatandaan itong 180-degree shutter rule na tinuro lang din sa akin ng kaibigan kong si Justin Espejo. And to keep it simple, dapat yung shutter speed mo is double or doble ng iyong frame rates. So, as you can see here, currently yung shutter speed ko is 1/400. Now, what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna lower it down to at least double no frame rate ko, which is 30. Okay? So, tingnan nyo, ibababa ko siya pa konti-konti. And you can see the changes gradually. 1/200, 1/160, 1/120. So, nakita nyo yung slight changes. Okay? So, nakita nyo, medyo bumagal na yung flashing niya. 1/100, 1/80. Medyo nag-stabilize na siya at 1/80. 1/60 is double of 30 frames per second. Nakita nyo huminto na yung flashing. So I can give you more examples then on where we can apply this. Not just on Insta360, you can apply this if you have a point-and-shoot camera and hindi pa kayo ganun ka-familiar sa settings. You can also do the same thing and you can apply the same concept. Actually, hindi yan dun natatapos. Pwede pa kayo mag-step down a little bit pero wag naman sobra-sobra kasi magkakaproblema na kayo nun. So at least double or close to the actual frame rates ng inyong camera. As promised earlier, bibigyan ko kayo ng ibang example. So ito yung Sony ZV-1 ko and we're shooting at 1080, 60 frames per second. Now, if you look into the lower left-hand side, makikita nyo dito yung shutter speed, which is yan, yung 1/125 na yan. Yan yung shutter speed ko. So, what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna change the shutter speed dito sa Sony ZV-1 ko. Kita nyo naman, di ba? Nag-flicker yung ilaw doon. So, I do that by changing the shutter speed. Ito, yung 1/125 na yan. Itataas ko to makikita nyo mas lalala yung flickering ng ilaw. 1/200, 400. So, lalong lumala. Tapos nagkaroon pa siya ng rolling frames dito, di ba? So, what you want to do is to lower it down to fix it. So, we're now on 1/60. Nawala yung flickering. Yan yung actual na itsura ng LED clock na yan. Hindi siya nagka-flicker. So ultimately, if we're shooting indoors, controlled environment, may iba't ibang ilaw sa loob, I would strongly suggest, or kahit hindi ako, yung ibang pros din, ang sinasuggest nila is gumamit tayo ng manual setting or manual mode kung meron man yung camera natin. And as I mentioned earlier, pwede nyo rin siyang i-apply sa mga mobile phones ninyo as long as your mobile phone has the ability to shoot in manual mode. Etong Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra ko is currently on default settings, which is automatic. It's shooting on 1080p na 60 frames. Clearly, you can see na pag naka-automatic, nagki-flicker yung LED. Now, when I move into Pro or manual mode, nawala yung flickering ng screen. Actually, nakasave na yung settings ng manual mode ko. So, whenever I switch to manual, yan na yung kanyang kinalalabasan. I just have to play with the settings. And on manual settings, I am on 8K 24 frames. 8K resolution, 24 frames per second. What I usually do is when I'm shooting indoors, iniiba ko yung settings nung shutter, yung 1/100, 1/50. So, since we're shooting at 24 frames, ang ginagamit kong shutter speed is double ng frame rates na ginagamit ko, which is 24, so times 2, dapat 50, or lower, or even equal dun sa actual frame rates na gagamitin ninyo. Well, depende sa situation, nasa sa inyo yan. So, you can play around with the settings, depende sa pangangailangan ninyo. Dito, tataasan ko yung shutter speed natin, and yan, nag-flicker na siya. Kasi nga, hindi bangga yung frequency ng ilaw sa paligid versus dun sa shutter speed ng camera ninyo. So, basically, to conclude, para sa akin lang to, if you are gonna be shooting indoors, I mean, if I'm shooting indoors lang, basically para sa akin lang kasi, di ba? So, if I'm shooting indoors, I would lower down the shutter speed as much as I can. Pero syempre, bago ko pindutin yung record button, titingnan ko muna kung may flickering ba sa paligid kasi mahirap na siyang bawiin pagka na-record na niya siya or na-export niya na siya. So, I hope nakatulong sa inyo to. Sana. And again, to photography, videography professionals, please feel free to correct me if I said anything wrong. I'm more than glad to accept, constructive criticism galing sa inyo. Maraming salamat, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.